If you want to live sensibly, you should have contact with the earth that you live on. Being in touch with the earth can complete the health process altogether.
Is there some way to do it? Yes, there are specific methods with which we can do.
We will provide this substance to you. In terms of health and well-being, there will be immense benefits one can clearly see.
The most intimate of the physicality in the existence is your body. And this body is just a piece of earth. You're just a small outcrop of this earth. Right now you're an outcrop who prances around. After some time, you will become a small mound.
You may believe many fancy things about yourself, but that's not the reality.
Somehow, this fundamental thing that we are just a small outcrop of the soil on which you're sitting right now is forgotten, generally till we are buried.
If you want to live sensibly, you should have contact with the earth that you live on. Today, because we have lost this contact in certain ways, it gets disorganized. This disorganization can lead to disease and weakness and ultimately destabilization of the system itself.
To strengthen the integrity of the elements in our system is very important. So is there some way to do it? Yes, there are specific methods with which we can do.
We will provide this substance to you, which is being called as Thai Mannu, which means the Mother Earth. This is a mixture of 5 different aspects. Nearly 50% is soil. There is some amount of green gram flour. There is what is called as organic camphor, and there is a little bit of soap nut powder, and there is one more herb in that. All together, you can apply this. If you have the time, the best way to do it is apply to your entire body. Do your practice and then shower without soap, because this will act as soap because it has soap nut powder and other aspects to it. It'll leave a mild sense of camphor on the body. It is very healing in various ways. It opens up the pores of your skin. If you do this at least for 2 to 3 hours, do not apply any cream or oil or anything, because the body has to breathe. Breathing is not just through your nostrils. Every pore in the skin has to breathe. The more it breathes, the more it's connected to everything around you, and your energetic body will develop well if you allow the body to breathe. You must understand this, if you put any harsh chemical on the thing, by natural resistance, the pores will close. This is what is happening when you apply soap. It is closing. Well, if it is necessary, your body is in a certain condition, you want to use soap, it's all right, it's not… you have to be puritanical like that, but generally being conscious that applying anything sticky or oily also blocks the pores. Applying any kind of chemical, naturally the body cringes and closes. It'll open after some time, but it'll close at that time. Especially if you're showering with cold water, body should open up. Body should receive the water. And if you use this as also like soap, you apply it as much as you want and you can wash it off with water, you will see the difference that the body feels, because… not because of its own accord, because of the way it opens you up to the elements. But if that is not possible for you, you have only certain amount of time for your sadhana, then the places that you need to apply is the soles of your feet, very important, and your palm, around the navel, anahata, where the rib cage meets, pit of the throat or the entire throat, and forehead, just here you can apply, or you can apply the whole thing, or you can apply for your whole face if you wish. But it's all a question of convenience. You may be working and you may be seeing people with your face full of mud. It may not be practical, you can just keep it like this, like how vibhuti is kept like that, you can just apply. according to your convenience you do it, but there is no harm in applying it at least once a month or once a week or whatever it allows, entire body, and doing that. If you keep at least one day in the cycle of the moon, that is, one during Amavasya to Paurnami and one during Paurnami to Amavasya, that means every 14 to 15 days, if you keep one day where you apply head to toe, spend 2-3 hours doing this, in terms of health and well-being, there will be immense benefits one can clearly see.
It can attract certain types of forces to your body which you may not be able to handle. It can just get your life in a tizzy. You can literally do everything that you want, and not just with yours, with everybody else's bodies here. Metal has a certain receptivity about it. I'm getting into an area that usually I would like to avoid, because I generally don't want to talk about anything that is not yet in your experience. Because if I speak about something which is not in your experience, what is the choice you have? The only choice you have is either to believe me or to disbelieve me. If you believe me, it doesn't get you any closer to truth. If you disbelieve me, it doesn't get you any closer to truth. Yes? You're still in the same spot, but you have a fancy story going. This is the mistake that's always been done. People are constantly talking about things that are not in your experience. But now the question is there such a thing? I'm wearing a ring on my thumb, why are they asking me to take it off? So this human body is a mechanism. You may be too attached and identified with it, so you're not seeing it that way, but it's actually a mechanism, isn't it? Yes? If you've been for some surgery or something, any of you? If you go to the surgery, they will just treat you like you took the car to the garage, just like that. They put you down there and da-da-da, clean you up and open you up and rip you off, do this, do that and put you back. They're just treating you like any machine, isn't it so? See, for a lot of people, surgery is a very humiliating experience. Because suddenly all the little sensibilities that you had is everything gone, they just open you up, they close you up, they do everything the way they think it should be done, isn't it? So because this is just a mechanism, this mechanism has come with many possibilities. As I said, in yoga, we are seeing this body as a ladder to the divine. If you know how to keep this is a phenomenal mechanism. Right now, we're using it in a very minimal way, very, very minimal way. This is an airplane, but you have chosen to drive it, When you choose to drive your airplane, you start driving and there's two damn things. It hits your buildings, your lampposts and everything. So you don't like these two things. So you chop off the two wings and you drive it. An airplane with chopped off wings is a wonderful bus actually. Yes. You're just happy, you're quite okay, what's wrong? I'm driving a great bus. But someone who knows what it means to fly sees an aircraft with chopped off wings, he will cry. Yes? That's how I feel when I look at the yoga that's happening and the way people are living, because this can be in some other way you have not imagined. See, if I go into the details, it'll be too fairy tale-ish. Too fairy tale-ish for any sensible person to believe. I wouldn't believe a damn thing like that if anybody told me. But these are everyday realities for me. So many things. Right here, that you're here, there are so many dimensions of life right here, now. But it's not in your experience. I'm talking about physical realities. I'm not talking about something else. As we are all sitting here and doing a program right now, there are many levels of physical realities right here. Various types of things happening. This is a whole world, multi-layered world, one inside the other. This is a multi-layered existence, one inside the other. Today modern physics is beginning to recognize that, do you know? They're talking about multiple realities existing, one inside the other. It is so. Occult is just like technology. Whatever we thought is impossible few years ago has become a reality, isn't it today? Just like that, occult is another dimension of technology, but still physical. It is still on the physical plane, but handling a different level of physicality, not physical as you know it. So, wearing a ring on your thumb, what would it do? It can attract certain types of forces to your body which you may not be able to handle. Just get your life in a tizzy. If you happen to go to certain places, if you attract certain types of forces, it can get your whole life into a bad tizzy. Because the moment you wear metal on your thumb, they all assume that you want them. So, if you attach an antenna from your brain up, every damn radio station that's going on in California, you have to bear with it. Now, if you don't want to hear all this, you have to pull off the antenna, isn't it? This is just like that. Metal has a certain receptivity about it, a certain impact about it. So, it is used in certain ways. So, it was always fixed that you must wear a ring upon your ring finger, everywhere in the world. This was fixed as ring finger. You think it's by accident? It is not by accident. This ring finger from here to here, the whole physical universe is right here. This is like the mouse of your computer. If you just do this from here to here, you can take yourself from one dimension to another, you can literally do everything that you want in this body just with your ring finger. And not just with yours, with everybody else's bodies here. You can do what you want just with your ring finger. There's a whole science in yoga about the ring finger. The ring finger is considered as the key to everything that you are. So, fixing a ring on the ring finger became important because that's a simple way of ensuring the stability of the system. If you put any metal on the ring finger, the system remains very stable. You put it somewhere else, somewhere else, somewhere else. Today, anywhere you can poke, people are putting metal. It will do its own things. It has its own impact. It's not a deciding factor like that. One can wear all these things and still be reasonably okay. But it is like you can make your car totally flat like a wall and drive it. You can still drive it. It just consumes 2 times more gas than if it is properly shaped, isn't it? The same thing. You can go like this and walk through everything, but it is just you'll simply exhaust yourself through the process of life. Rather than going through it joyfully, effortlessly, you will just exhaust yourself by doing wrong things, that's all. Everybody gets to live, but not with the same ease, isn't it? Isn't it so? Simply because unless you do the right things do not happen to you in this world. Inside, outside, many dimensions, it doesn't matter what. Unless you do the right things will not happen to you. That's the way it is.
Here we are visiting a very successful agroforestry farmer in the local area. Here you see, all the trees are about 5 years old. Already, if you see per acre, the trees here could be worth anywhere around 7 to 8 lakh rupees. You don't see all of them here, but different types, different species of trees grow at different scale. What you see right here is teak, a hardwood tree, and a very valuable timber which grows slow, but there are other softwood trees which have grown much thicker. So, right now, if they harvest, not all of them, just the softwood trees, it would be worth 7 to 8 lakh rupees. That's how much they earn from 1 acre. Normally, per acre, here in this part of the agricultural belt here, they would earn something like maybe 35 to 40,000 rupees at the most, but this is what it's done. Now, right now, you see weeds, but they will also intercrop with ragi and various other things, and they're just about preparing to plant pepper vine on these trees. Once the pepper comes up, then it becomes a very, very high-yielding farm. So, this is a sample of agroforestry near Coimbatore. So, we're just visiting this morning. What beauty is to a woman, valor is to a man. The rural youth of our country have lost various aspects through which they could find and express their courage, their skill and their competence in daily life. Jallikattu, a traditional sport in rural Tamil Nadu, was one sport which gave the Tamil youth the necessary opportunity to express their valor, to express their competence. Above all, in today's world, Jallikattu has drawn rural youth away from alcohol and other addictions because being fit, capable, agile and competent becomes very important in a sport like this. Never before has it happened that the bulls which participate in the Jallikattu sport have ever been harmed or killed. If at all, if anybody bleeds, if anybody is injured, if at all, if a death happens, it's that of a human being, not of the bulls. Those who are taking up this great cause of animal rights and cruelty to animals, if at all, if they're serious about this, first thing that they need to do is close the slaughterhouses which are killing millions of animals every day. Instead of attending to the most fundamental form of cruelty, which is cutting short of an animal's life, not even for our food, but to export. India has become the largest exporter of beef, which is a shame. The animals which nurtured us, the animals which worked for us, the animals which enriched our soil on a daily basis, we are slaughtering them not just for food, but to export and make money. An animal whose milk we drank just as we drank our mother's milk, we are slaughtering it and sending it to other countries. This is a shame. Instead of fighting against this, taking away a simple joy of the rural youth of Tamil Nadu is not fair.
130 ಕೋಟಿ ಜನರಿಗೂ ಭೂಮಿಗೂ ನೀರಿಗೂ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಇದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಇದೆ.
ಸಿಟಿ ಜನ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ನೀರು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಹಳ್ಳಿ ಜನರು ಇವತ್ತು ಕುಡಿಲಿಕ್ಕೂ ಹಣ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ನೀರು ಪಡಿಬೇಕಾದಂತ ಒಂದು ವಿಷಮ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಒಂದು ಗಂಭೀರ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಇದ್ದೇವೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ಗಮನಿಸಬೇಕು. ನೀರು ನನಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೇರಬೇಕು, ನನಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ವಾ, ನಾನು ಟ್ಯಾಪ್ ತಿರುಗಿಸಿದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ, ಇಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಯೋಚನೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನದಿಗಳ ಮಹತ್ವ ಏನು, ನದಿಗಳು ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂತಹ ಪಾತ್ರವನ್ನು ವಹಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಮನವರಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಡೀ ದೇಶಾದ್ಯಂತ ತಿರುಗ್ತಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಜಗ್ಗಿ ವಾಸುದೇವರು ಸದ್ಗುರುಗಳು
ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ವೋ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಸೆಲ್ಫಿ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದು ಮಿಸ್ಡ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಕೊಡಿ. ಒಂದು ಮಿಸ್ಡ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಕೊಡೋ ಮೂಲಕ ಕೂಡ ನೀವು ಈ ರ್ಯಾಲಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಬಹುದು. ಇದೊಂದು ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದ ಕೆಲಸ.
ಇದು ಜನಪರವಾದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಂತ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಅಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸೇರಿ ನದಿ ಪಾತ್ರವನ್ನು ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು.
If you give a missed call, the river will not come up. It will give 10 crore missed calls, it will not come up. But what we are working towards is a policy. If we implement the policy, for sure, in the next 20 to 25 years' time,
the water in the rivers of our country will rise by minimum 15 to 20%. Before we die, we want to see that.
See, any aspect of life, these things should not be separated. What people keep on asking, what is the connection between life and love, life and spirituality, life and sport? These are all different dimensions of life. These are all different expressions of human life when someone lives intensely. If you live a tepid life, if you live a very, a life which doesn't have any intensity in it, then it'll be only about eating and sleeping and survival process. If anybody lives intensely, art will come, music will come, sport will come, spiritual process will come, it's bound to come. How will it not come? So it's about intensity and involvement. Where there's intensity, there is involvement. As I said, when Vivekananda said, you are closer to God in kicking a ball than in prayer. See, if you become practiced in your prayer, you can be praying and managing your children, you can be praying and thinking of 100 different things. But in kicking a ball, if you think about anything else, it'll not go where you want. You must be absolutely there, otherwise it won't work. So it is the intensity and involvement. Without it, there is no spiritual process. Spiritual process is the highest level of intensity and involvement. If you are involved with life intensely, you will be naturally spiritual. Spiritual does not mean looking up or looking down, exploring the nature of your existence. How can you not do that if you're intense about your life? If your life matters, how can you not explore the full depth and dimension of who you are? Because that is what the spiritual process is.
March 1st, senior students of Isha Homeschool, soon to graduate, gleaned insights from Sadhguru.
I know this is a thing that's happening everywhere in the world. I'm sure every student who's moving from school phase to maybe university phase or vagabond phase, they're all thinking, what subject? If we are thinking life, we should not think in terms of subjects, academic subjects. We should think in terms of what would we like to create for ourselves and for the world around us. So if you say, this is what I want to create, then how to equip yourself for that? What sort of education, what sort of institution, what sort of subjects will empower me to create what I want? That's the way to go. At this age, you must put in substantial physical and spiritual sadhana so that when time comes, when life gives you an opportunity to do things, your body and your mind should not hold you back.
March 1st, ladies from the Ludhiana, Coimbatore and Chennai chapters of FICCI Ladies Organization meet with Sadhguru in the ashram.
We are still one leader standing up here, one leader standing up there. There is no leadership in the society. So anybody, if you meet 10 people in your day, every day let's say you're meeting 10 people, there are 3 things you can do. You can impact those 10 people positively or negatively, or you can let it pass by. Most people are letting it pass by, few people do negative things, very few people are doing positive things wherever they can. So this is an opportunity that we have every moment, and this is the only way a truly healthy society will come up, that everybody is seeing how to impact positively wherever they are, in whatever little opportunity that they have.
March 2nd and 3rd, meet with Isha Yoga teachers in the scenic Nilgiris. March 5th, former chairman of ISRO, the Indian Space Research Organization, joined the Rally for Rivers National Board. More plans were chalked out at a board meeting in Bengaluru as the rally enters the execution phase in cooperation with state governments. March 6th, Isha Foundation was recognized as Green Crusader of the Year at the 8th Annual IAA Olive Crown Awards for its work in creating a greener environment through Project Green Hands and Rally for Rivers. In a conversation with Sudhanshu Vats, Group CEO of Viacom 18, Sadhguru gave an update about the Rally for Rivers draft policy recommendations to revitalize India's rivers.
So I was looking at how to make an ecological initiative into a win-win for all the people concerned. When I said all the people concerned, one thing is the fundamental entity is the river. And immediately there are farmers and the communities which live there. And there are local governments and there are people who live in the cities and there is a larger government. All of them should benefit, otherwise this will not happen. Somebody will put spanner in the works. So this is how the policy was constituted. Fortunately today, the government has received this as a very uniquely positive policy and from Niti Aayog, it's in the Prime Minister's office and I think in a few days the thing will go out. The advisory will go out for all the chief ministers, what they should do in those states. Almost in toto, it's being accepted, almost all the recommendations.
March 9th, Sadhguru presents the first copy of the book, Fulfilling Bapu's Dreams, Prime Minister Modi's tribute to Gandhiji, to the Honourable President of India, Shri Ram Nath Kovind, at Rashtrapati Bhavan. The book captures Gandhiji's vision for a clean Bharat. March 10th, Sadhguru speaks at the first reunion of alumni of Harvard Business School's Owners and Presidents Management Program, which was attended by 85 successful entrepreneurs from over 30 countries.
So business has to raise its consciousness from making money to creating something. Because only if you create something that's useful for me, I'm going to be a part of your business, isn't it? So this is how businesses should grow and that's how they're growing. But that's not how people are experiencing. People are thinking they're just here to make money. No. Every business is in some way is addressing human well-being, isn't it? Whether you make a safety pin or a spacecraft, essentially it's about human well-being. The moment you forget it, you will suffer your business. If you are conscious of this, you will do wonderful business very joyfully and with great sense of fulfillment.
March 11th, over 20 rural girls from nearby villages of Isha Yoga Center were initiated into Bharatnatyam. March 11th, Mumbai, Sadhguru was named Outstanding Personality of the Year at the Hello Hall of Fame Awards 2018 for Rally for Rivers. On this occasion, Sadhguru announced that anyone can freely download his videos and share them. March 13th, Sadhguru initiates young full-time volunteers at Isha Yoga Center into a sadhana. March 14th, BSF top commanders who participated in the Inner Engineering Retreat program at the ashram have a session with Sadhguru.
Few human beings choose something more important than survival in their lives. It could be a cause, it could be a nation, it could be love, it could be devotion. So those human beings who choose something beyond survival, they always know life in a completely different way than those who just live for survival. Maybe they will never know the comforts that other people know, but they will know life that other people will never know. So, we are the same tribe that way. None of us know any comfort. 7 days of the week we're on. But we know something that those who sleep in the afternoon will not know.
March 21st, the Permanent Mission of India to the United Nations, in association with Isha Foundation, held a special event at the UN headquarters in New York, where Sadhguru spoke about water, sanitation and women's empowerment. He detailed how aggregation of micro-irrigation and marketing for farmers can financially empower women and eventually result in better sanitation. March 22nd, World Water Day. Sadhguru spoke at the United Nations for the launch of the International Decade for Action, Water for Sustainable Development, 2018 to 2028.
It's really a fantastic day today that we are talking about a decade of action, not decade of talking, a decade of action, which is a very good terminology and very good intention. Now we have to get into action. Obviously, United Nations does not have geographical presence, it is the nations on the ground which need to act. So whatever the advisories, whatever the decisions made, must become policies in every nation.
March 22nd, Isha celebrated World Water Day with a bicycle rally by 100 volunteer students that created awareness in nearby villages. 200 full-time Rally for Rivers volunteers planted 3,600 trees, shrubs and bushes, comprising of 200 different species in a 6-acre piece of land. This man-made forest will demonstrate how trees will naturally draw birds, squirrels and other wildlife. The day culminated with cultural performances by Isha Homeschool and Isha Samskriti. March 24th, a gathering of over 6,000 attended the Mystic Eye program in Toronto.
See, all of us are sitting here in the same hall, breathing the same air, maybe we eat the same kind of food. We are in the same time zone except a few people. No, I'm just nasty, that's all, it's okay. But this moment how I am within myself, I will not exchange this for anything in the universe. You give me anything, there is no deal for this. Because this is far more than anything that you can ever possess. And every human being has it. Only thing is not invested anything in the direction. There's nobody here who doesn't have it. So, how to motivate you? See, when your car doesn't start, somebody has to push. Once it gets going, after that we don't have to push it all the way, then it'll go. We can teach you ways. When you start experiencing it as a part of you, it fires you up. You must fall in love with somebody or something. Don't find a somebody, you must fall in love with something. Something means something to you, you will wake up in the morning. Nothing means anything to you, where is the reason to wake up in the morning?
How do you fall in love?
When Shiva wanted to teach yoga, his first disciple, which was his own wife, Parvati, she was very eager to learn the way to enlightenment because she saw him as a glorious being and she wants to become like him. She said, "How? I'm ready to do anything." Shiva said, "No need to do anything, just come sit here on my lap." She hesitated because, "Oh, I don't want to be petted, I want to be enlightened." He said, "Relax, come and sit here." She sat here. He pulled her closer. Not out of his needs, to fulfill her need. And he pulled her so closer, 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 closer. And slowly she became a part of him. So there is a dimension of Shiva which we call as Ardhanari, where one half is man, one half is woman. What the imagery is trying to tell you is that it's only by inclusion, it's only by inclusion that life will blossom. If you have to include something into yourself, there must be space, isn't it? If I have to make somebody a part of myself, I have to throw out half of me out. Only then, that's why the expression falling in love, not rising in love, okay? Not standing in love, not climbing in love, falling in love, because a part of you has to fall. Only then there will be space for something else or somebody else. If all of you, the whole of you falls down, there'll be enormous space. You can include the whole cosmos as a part of yourself. If at least a part of you falls down, you may fall in love with one more human being or one more aspect of creation. So, we can teach you ways to empty yourself. If a part of you falls down, that empty space has to be filled with something. And that something which is not you, when it becomes a part of you, when you start experiencing it as a part of you, it fires you up. Because right now, what you think is me is not you, just a bundle of thoughts, emotions, ideas and prejudices, isn't it? That's not you. So what is you has not come into experience. So how to motivate you? When you're not yet, how to get you going? You're not yet. Right now all that is there is a bundle of thoughts, a cloud of thoughts and emotions and all kinds of stuff, isn't it? So that's why the sadhana. You must come and do some sadhana. Initially, somebody will motivate you. See, when your car doesn't start, somebody has to push, okay? Once it gets going, after that, we don't have to push it all the way. Then it'll go. So initially, nothing wrong using a little bit of a push, everybody needs a push. There are very few people who can propel themselves from step one. Most others need push, often on a little kick here and there. Rest they will do. You need to understand this. What you call as myself right now is a huge volume of memory. Your body is the way it is, simply because of the genetic memory that it carries. You have your mother's nose, your father's complexion and something else, your grandfather's something else. Simply because what you call as your body is a complex amalgamation of memory. A very ancient memory lives in your body. What you call as my mind is 100% memory, right? So you are a huge heap of memory in many ways. And memory goes into you in different ways. Through all the five senses you gather memory. What you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you touch. Of all these five different ways of gathering memory, what you see and what you touch are the deepest forms of memory. Especially what you touch creates a certain level of memory in the system. So when you say a spouse, you have touched, and there is a certain level of memory. Now, your divorce means in some way you're trying to rip that memory off. And that's not going to be easy for various reasons. But at the same time, the very fact that you're going through your divorce means you want to be finished with that memory in some way. Maybe not erase that memory, but
Someone who was a spouse, someone who was in many ways a part of your life, slowly, for whatever reason, you have begun to experience them as a baggage that you're unwilling to carry. So, you want to keep the baggage aside, but you find the baggage is not something that you voluntarily carry, it is something that compulsively sticks to you. So when whatever sticks to you compulsively, if you try to rip it off, there will be pain. See if you can get rid of your mother from your system. You will see it's impossible. So similarly, memory has built up about your spouse, you can't just get rid of it just like that. If you do it, even mentally, psychologically, if you're equipped to do it, you will still see the whole system will go through a certain level of suffering, invariably. Even if emotionally, psychologically you're in a balanced state that you can deal with it, the system will go through a certain process. You will see that especially when you are taken away from your spouse, either through divorce or death, you will see the memory within your system plays up much more strongly when they're not here. Particularly when death happens, you will see the memory of your spouse works in every cell in your body, if you have lived long enough together. It is not just an emotional and psychological process, it is a very physical process. So divorce is a voluntary death. You have decided to kill something that is a part of you in some. It is because of this reason that having this understanding of the existence and the way the system functions, that they always told you, till death do you apart, you will not part. Because there is a physical memory about this, and the body doesn't have the balance of the mind. The mind can decide and turn around, but the body cannot turn around. The more memory you build into it, the more confused it becomes. So one type of memory, body handles it much better. Now that you've chosen to divorce for whatever reasons, which I don't want to delve into, if it could be avoided, that would be best. But for some reason, you have come to that situation where this has to happen. You need to understand this, that divorce essentially means you have chosen to kill something which is a part of you, because what you call as myself is just a certain volume of memory. Now, to how to conduct this grace, people think the best way to conduct a divorce is immediately jump into another relationship and another relationship of the same kind. No, you will cause much more struggle and turmoil within the system by doing that. It's extremely important the body has enough time to work out the memory. The body has enough time to keep the memory at a certain distance. Otherwise, you will render yourself to a space where to make yourself peaceful and joyful will become an extremely hard thing to do in your life. So conducting this process gracefully and well is important, as it is important to conduct every aspect of your life gracefully and well. Now, two people who have shared their emotion, their body, their sensations, and their living spaces. Ripping it apart is because two memories have merged in many ways. Ripping it apart is almost like tearing yourself apart. Even though you might have begun to almost come to a place where you can't stand the person anymore, still it hurts. Simply because you are trying to rip out a memory which is you, because you are a bundle of… If one does the necessary spiritual sadhana, if one does sufficient inner work to establish these energies, which is yourself, You're only divorcing your spouse. You need not divorce yourself. But you need to understand this. You have already divorced yourself. You're quite divorced from your own self. Your existence has been nurtured by making a bond, a partnership, or bondage, depending upon how you conducted this, to make yourself feel whole in some way. Most partnerships of this nature are made because by yourself you would feel insufficient, incomplete, but that's not how life is. This is a complete life process by itself. It does not need any assistance from outside. So now that you come to such a situation, it is time to turn inward and see. It is time that you find the completeness of what this life is. It is time you discover that this being is a complete being. It does not need any external assistance to be the way it is. To conduct our life in a society we may need. We are interdependent, but the fundamental existence of this, the balance of what this is, the space of what this is, the possibility of what this is a complete process by itself. Our interdependence is only according to our external requirements, but our inner existence is complete by itself. You are divorcing your spouse, which is bad enough. Do not divorce yourself from yourself.